Hello, my name is Richard Jacobs and welcome to this introductory presentation about the BA Animation programme at York St John University. So just to give you a little introduction to myself, I'm a lecturer in animation in the Design Centre at York St John, and I ran an animation studio for around 10 years, specialising in animation for the museums and heritage sector. I've also made a number of independent animation productions which have been screened at film festivals internationally. So to start off then, why study animation in the first place? Well, recent research from Nesta showed that the most in-demand digital skill in the next 10 years will be animation. It's an industry that's on the rise both nationally and internationally, and animation jobs and skills are in incredibly high demands, both within the traditional animation industries, so film and television, and the games industries as well, but also in the wider commercial sector too. So to start off this presentation, I would like to show you, to introduce you to the course, some of our student work, and I think this really is the best way to introduce you to the type of work that our students do. So let's take a look. As part of the animation program, you will have the opportunity to learn a wide range of animation skills and techniques, from digital and traditional 2D animation, 3D animation and stop motion animation specific as well. So we're not a technique specific course, although we do offer projects and instruction and modules on specific animation techniques. So taking a look at the course structure then, the first year of study is really your opportunity to pick up all of that core theory and knowledge of animation. So we will look at the core principles of animation, explore practical projects, looking at a wide range of those animation techniques that I mentioned, and there are some animation specific projects and modules as well, including character design, environment design, animation direction, pre-visualization for animation as well, so storyboarding and animatics. So that first year really, we kind of plan to fill your heads up with all of that animation knowledge that you need to go into bigger projects in your second and third year. In the second year, we have a wide variety of specialist projects in which you can choose the animation technique of your choice. So from the second year, you can specialize in a specific area of animation. And we have collaborative projects with the games design course, and we also start to issue in the second half of second year live industry and client briefs as well. So in the second year, you start to create bodies of work, pieces of animation which are sort of externally facing, and starting to put together that professional portfolio. In your third year, the tide kind of fully turns to you, and you can tell us what you would like to make as part of your major project. So you get a year to make whatever you like, basically. So, typically for third year animation students, that's an animated short film to move on to the film festival circuit. It could be animation specific demo reel, it could be a games collaboration, whatever you like. And there's also a client-based project in the third year as well, so you can choose a client to work with. That could be an animation studio or a professional collaborator if that's what you wanted to do. There's also a written research proposal in that third year as well. So one of the great things about the animation program is that we have dedicated specialist animation studios. So all of those animation tools and equipment that you need are all in one space, and it creates a really sort of collaborative, friendly, lively atmosphere for you to work in. And it's really a great place for students to come in and focus on their projects and kind of skill share with fellow animators across different year groups as well. So we like to replicate kind of industry as much as possible and have these dedicated animation studios where you can come and work. And as I mentioned, both 2D, traditional and digital, 3D and stop motion are all kind of under the same roof, so you can kind of skill share and collaborate with other animation students as well. So just taking a quick look at some of the tools that you would use on the animation program. So in terms of software, we look at Autodesk Maya, rendered with Redshift for 3D animation, Unity and Unreal for those of you that are interested in games animation, Harmony, Toon Boom Harmony for 2D, which is the leading industry software now. That's the most widely used and in-demand 2D animation, Dragon Frame for any paper-based animation or stop-motion animation, and then the Adobe Suite as well to kind of prop up all of that specialist animation software. In terms of hardware, we share a VR development suite with the game design program. We have enough Cintiq 16 HD tablets for every student to use in the animation spaces. Every PC is high spec NVIDIA graphics i7 PCs. We also have traditional animation facilities, so paper-based animation as I've mentioned, cell painting facilities as well, and model making facilities for stop motion, so silicon casting, 3D printing. It's one of the great advantages of us being in the design centre is that we also have access to the workshops and those kind of really high-end model making facilities and tools as well. So thinking about the industry roles that you may want to go into upon completion of the animation program, you could look at becoming an animation specialist, so picking one specific part of the animation industry that you're interested in. So for example, I've had students that are interested in animatics, students that are interested in 2D visual effects, so they're really specialising down on one specific thing. You may look at going into a more generalist role, so something in a smaller studio which demands a much broader scope of animation skills. You may look at pre-production, so as I've mentioned, previs, storyboard and layout, or post-production, so compositing, editing and lighting as well. There's obviously the 2D or 3D rigging options and model making skills as well, so you could really specialise in stop motion animation and thinking about model making too. And these animation skills, they're kind of bedrock of this core principle of animation, applicable to firstly to any technique, but also to any area of the animation industry as well. So that could be the games industries, film, television, or the commercial sector too. As part of your studies, you'll have the opportunity to attend film and animation festivals and animation events and masterclasses as well. So we frequently take students to the Aesthetica Short Film Festival, and they have recently had masterclasses from Blue Zoo and Aardman, and also students have the opportunity to attend the Manchester Animation Festival as well, where they can see a really broad range of animation work, including the latest short and feature animation films as well. The core aim and philosophy of the animation program is that we will help you and guide you to create a body of work that is ready to present to the animation industry to move into the wider world of work and employment. So with that in mind, we have a lot of industry links, both studios, industry practitioners, professionals and animation organisations as well, that we work with in terms of bringing them in for talks, masterclasses, feedback, and also preparing students for employment in the animation sector as well. So you can see here some examples of the recent studios that we have worked with. So an example of an industry talk that took place recently was Claire Hernan from Lupus Films came in to talk about the recent production of The Tiger Who Came to Tea, and she also spent time offering students one-to-one feedback on their animation portfolios as well, which is a really great experience for our students. As well as industry professionals and studios coming in to deliver talks and masterclasses, we also bring in people from outside the animation industry. So every year, second year students have the opportunity to work with a professional voice actor to record a piece of dialogue that they write, which they can then use for an animated performance project. So from the second year, students are getting that opportunity to experience what it's like taking an animation project through a professional pipeline and working with professional collaborators as well. In your third year, as I mentioned earlier on, you have the opportunity to undertake your major project, which is a year-long animation project, and you can kind of choose exactly what you want to make. At the start of that third year, you have the opportunity to pitch that project idea to an industry panel of professionals for guidance and feedback on your ideas and concepts. So as you can see here, this was this year's third year animation panel, and they provided individual feedback to every student on their animation projects, which really helped kind of shape up their ideas and focus them to create something really great for that major project. And at the end of that third year, there's another opportunity for industry feedback and recognition. So last year, Kath Shackleton from Fettel Animation offered feedback on the finished third year major projects, and also gave the Industry Design Award for Animation to one of our students. Students also have the opportunity to take part in competitions. A really good example of this is the Cardiff Animation Festival Quick Draw, which is a 48-hour animation challenge where students come together, they make little animation studios that last for 2 days, and they make a film over the course of 2 days. It's always a really great and exciting challenge as part of their animation studies. The skills and knowledge that you pick up on the animation program are applicable to the national animation industry, but also the international animation industry as well. So to give you a couple of examples, we've had students that have recently collaborated with Katie O'Neill, the graphic novelist, creating some animation tests for the Tea Dragon Society graphic novels, and also a student who's working over in LA on the new Hell of a Boss animated series. So these animation skills can be taken out to the wider animation world. We're keen to take students outside of the animation studios as well. So we take students on trips not only to film festivals and screenings, but also to sort of less obvious places as well. So students, for example, as part of their Movement in Nature project in the second year, get to spend a day life drawing at a wildlife park, and they can kind of create a body of reference material and study to bring back to the studio to use for their own projects. As I've mentioned a couple of times before, students do get an opportunity to collaborate with other design practices. So that may be graphic design, illustration. Most commonly, the students choose to work with games designers to create immersive or interactive experiences as part of their second year collaborative project. During semester time, students have the opportunity to attend life drawing classes. So every week you can attend life drawing and really kind of develop and improve your own drawing craft and skill if that's something that you are interested in. We're keen to make sure that students have seen plenty of animation films. It's really important that students have kind of got a wide range of genres and eras of animation that they've sort of been exposed to. So every week we run animation screenings. Students can kind of come together, watch an animated film, and then share thoughts and ideas around that screening at the end of the animation screening as well. So we say to our students, by the end of the programme, you will have a portfolio of animation that is ready for industry. Now, obviously, you need to meet us halfway with that and put that time and effort in, but we will give you all the opportunities that you need to have that body of work, that show reel, that portfolio that's ready to move out into the wider animation industry at the end of the degree. And of course, given that you're studying at York St John, you have the opportunity to graduate in the incredible venue that is York Minster as well at the end of your degree. So that's a quick overview of the animation degree at York St John University. Thank you very much for your time. If you want to keep up to date with news, jobs, events, and have a look at some of our student work as part of their own showcases, please follow us on our Twitter page, and you can see more of our work and activity there as well. So thank you very much for listening, and I will speak to you again.